Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? What a doorknob. Gosh. Turn the sound on. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? It's funny. I was surfing. You can hear me now? That's better. Such a dork. I am an idiot, so now I got to start all over again. I was watching YouTube this morning, which is what I was saying earlier, having my coffee, and this is usually I try to get out to the shop about 10 at the latest. Well, who am I kidding at the latest? Usually I don't get out of my chair until 10 on a Sunday, especially. But I was, and this laptop right here. This is what I use. This is it. Yeah, I got it now. Thank you for telling me. I tell you, technology. So, can you, oh, wait a minute. Let me just scroll down. I just want to make sure that you can actually hear me. So my computer has a mute button and, yeah, we can hear you. Okay. And I was surfing and I hit the mute button because I was trying to turn up my volume. I was like, maybe a guy should have your mute on in case your computer's listening to what you're saying, because you know what? Nowadays with technology, it's like you're talking about a Disney cruise, and then next thing you know, all your Facebook ads and internet ads is like Disney cruise vacation. It's like Big Brother's always watching us. So wanted to talk about this week, Sunday, live and uncut. It's uncut. Going to talk about things maybe I shouldn't talk about. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll think wiser when I get into it. John will be fine, says Mike, no sound. So hopefully other guys say they can hear it. Oh yeah, to those reporting no sound, refresh. Okay, so I've had a rough week. Not gonna lie, hasn't been an easy week. Lots of stuff at work. I had a video plan to put out today. Nothing too spectacular. I did a cold start on Kenny, which I thought was fun, and I was gonna stick out today. I also have been putting the windshield back. You can see Low and Slow has glass and wipers, and they work. And I was working on them yesterday, didn't record it. Just needed to get some work done. And I'm like, you know what? I think you guys are probably going to get bored with just working on trucks and not getting lots done. And so I got this. This is the thermostat housing for Low and Slow. And this is the thermostat, because one of the things that I wanted to have happen or make have happen is to go get K2 is good, actually, looking really good. So yeah, one of the problems with Low and Slow is he doesn't get hot, like he runs cold. So it's obviously got to be a thermostat. So I had bought a thermostat, hadn't got around to doing it. So I got the windshield in, I got the heater in, I got the dash back in, and it's like, okay, I just need to put new heater hoses in. So I'll do the thermostat, and I broke a bolt. Yeah. And the crappy thing is it goes into an aluminum housing. And yesterday it broke off. Like I got two of them out. Two were no problem. This long one is a bit tricky. This one, I could feel that it was danger. So I was being very careful to try not to break that. So I used heat. You know what? I was smart out of the gate. I used heat. I tried tapping it. Anyways, it broke. I've got some extractors. Luckily, there was a stud. I used that. And well, actually, no. First, I tried welding a nut to it. The nut broke off. So then I remembered I got these little extractors. So I used the extractor, pounded it on, and was unscrewing it. And I'm like, oh, it's turning. And it snapped the bolt off. And I was using heat, like a good amount of heat. I mean, not torch heat because it's an aluminum housing. And I broke it off 2 more times so that now it's flush. So then I'm like, okay, I got to drill it out, right? This is my least favorite thing to do, to have to drill out a bolt in a cast aluminum water jacket. So I start drilling it out, broke a little drill bit. Try another one, broke it. Got another, I'm like, okay, be really careful that you don't break it. And I got in about maybe a half an inch. Certainly not as far as I think I needed to go. And the drill bit broke inside the hole. inside the water jacket. And that was 7 o'clock or 7:30 last night. And Andrew came out and she's like, why don't you just say bugger it? So that's what I did. So instead of having my thermostat in this afternoon, I got to try and figure out how to get this broken bolt out. And I got a feeling it ain't going to be, well, it hasn't been easy so far. So I've watched my YouTube tutorials. I watched a thing about welding a nut. I tried welding the nut, didn't work. I probably don't have the right wire, but honestly, I broke the stud off twice getting into there. So I don't think welding a nut's going to work. I think drilling a hole to make it maybe shrink a little bit would work. But I broke the freaking drill bit in the hole. So now I got to try and get the drill bit out so that I can drill more holes, because now I can't drill through a broken drill bit. I don't know if you guys got any tricks as to how to get the broken drill bit out of the hole, but my whole plan was to try and get Low and Slow back together this weekend, transfer the insurance over from Kenny so I could drive him to work, make sure the heater works, that temperature's all good, windshield's good, and now this, because I want to go get Duke Kaboom, the new truck to the channel, Duke Kaboom from Dawson Creek, and he should just fit on the back of this thing. I might have to pull the rams off to get him home, but he should fit. And Andrea actually said we should take the truck to go get it ourselves. So when the wife wants to go for a ride in the truck to go get another truck, you go take your truck. That's what a feller does. When the wife gives you the green light, you step on the gas. So yeah, spring break is in a week. We were hoping to do something with the kids. So I don't know. If I can get this fixed, then maybe we'll still go get Low and Slow before we go do something with the kids, or, it's all up in the air. Now you got the price of fuel through the roof, but whatever. So yeah, it was a tough week. Some of the things that happened this week, the most prominent, which will be the thumbnail to this, is any of you OG guys. Well, actually, I don't even know if you're OG, but any of you guys that have been subscribed to the channel for a bit, that follow my journey, our journey, know that the family wanted a cat. They wanted a cat really bad. I was fighting it because I never had good luck with cats growing up. We had an outside cat, and Tucker brought him inside, and he was a great cat, for being an outside mouse or whatever. But he wasn't an inside cat, and he died of old age. But, so anyways, we ended up getting a cat. We got a Cabover cat, little smushy face. He kind of looks like you run into a wall, but we took him to get neutered on Friday, and we don't know what happened, but he ended up dying. So the vet said that supposedly the procedure went fine, and he was sitting up in the cage afterwards. And then when they went back to check on him, he was gone. So needless to say, my family is devastated right now. And not going to lie, I've been pretty upset myself because, these pets, and I mean, you guys that are truckers that carry your pets with you in your truck, they're like they're your buddy, they're your family. And your pet doesn't care. They don't care if you're fat. They don't care if you're ugly. They don't care if you smell bad. Truth be known, they probably like you more if you smell bad. And they're just your companion. And I think that's one of the things that's been so hard with this one, is the fact that it's like myself. I didn't want a cat. I was like, I don't want a cat. Don't need a cat. Don't want a cat. And I'm like, okay, if we get a cat, I want to get a fun cat. I want a smushy face, and I want to get a cat from a breeder, because cats I've had in the past have been like SPCA cats, and I don't know, I've had bad luck to where I'm like, okay, if we get it from a breeder, then in theory it's got all this lineage and blah, blah, blah. And he was great. Freaking hands down the best cat I've ever had. And yeah, and you know what? It was really enjoyable. So I guess, I don't know. It feels like this one hurts more. I mean, I had a dog for 17 years. Had her, Nikki, miniature American Eskimo. I had her before I met my wife, and had her for 17 years. I think I cried less when I had to put Nikki down than what's that on this weekend, because at least when you've had your dog for a long time and they get to that age, you understand that it's, it's time. You've lived a long life. You've got all these memories, and you know what? You know that they're yappy and they shed hair, and and then they lose their continence when they're older, and you're doing all this stuff for them. So it's not as I don't think it's as hard when you have to put them down at that stage, or if something happens. But this little guy, we had him for 97 days, and it was like out of the blue. Like the worst was having to tell Tucker, like, Tucker wanted the cat. The cat lives in his room. He sleeps with him. And, he's messaging from school, and he's like, "Oh, is Gibby out yet? When can we pick up Gibby?" And had to go pick him up and tell him, that his cat's gone, when it was like being blindsided, like being hit by a truck, so to speak. So family's really upset. Gotta admit, I'm not feeling too crazy either. So I'm not working on trucks today. Well, I might a little bit, but so that's why yesterday I was working on the truck. I didn't record it. Just didn't feel like going through the work of doing it. Just wanted to get low and slow back together so we could do some more stuff. Almost didn't do a live today, but I'm like, you know what? I'm watching YouTube. I enjoy it, and I wanted to tell you guys about my week, especially if I don't do a live on Tuesday. And who knows? Maybe Sunday's a better day to do a live, because then you guys can see what's going on in the shop. Better backdrop than certainly the office. So, but thanks, guys, for all your condolences. We will be getting another cat. He will be another smushy face. The breeder has already, she has been awesome. We don't know if it was the vet that did something, or if it was a pre-existing thing, or sometimes I guess cats can have heart conditions. And I can't believe I'm talking about a cat like this, because I would have never guessed that I could fall for a cat, but I am. But the breeder, you know what? She's like, you know what? When you guys are ready, you can have another one of my cats. And honestly, I would take another one of her cats, because he was just the coolest little guy, like so chill. Like, I bet you if he could just be like, "Hey man," he was cool. And the hardest part, the last time we went out, we took him for a ride in the pickup, because we want to take the motorhome out, maybe even for spring break. We want to take the cat with us. When we go camping, we want to take the cat with us. Because if we have pets, it's a lot more fun to take him with you. And so, yeah, we were taking him in the pickup to get him used to it. And he was so chill. And it was his first trip. So, you know what? I think he would have been a fantastic little camper dude. But alas, you know what? Sometimes life kicks you in the cojones, and you just have to suck it up and carry on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to suck it up, carry on. I'm sure there's going to be more tears, and we're going to get another cat. Maybe it'll be soon. Maybe it won't be soon. I'll let you guys know. He's not going to be like Mr. Gibbs, but he'll be his own dude. Hopefully I don't know. Hopefully he's good. Anyways, whatever. Don't need to bore you guys on a truck channel about my personal life and cats, but it's real and raw, and that's what I love about the lives. You're going to get the real, not edited. I'm not going to go through it and go, "Oh, geez, Mike, you probably shouldn't say that." Instead, I'll say it, and then I'll go, "Oops." But yeah, no, it's been a tough week. Things in Peterbilt news that I don't know if I should share it or not, but I don't care right now. So, we got more surcharges coming down the pipe, which is kind of like a big punch in the gut. We're just trying to figure out with the company how to handle this. With everything going on in the world, there's more. I sometimes think it's too easy to have price increases, and it's like the last, and I hate being a salesman saying that it's tough, but right now it ain't easy, and it's tough. You spend 10 years building up your business, your clientele, building relationships with people, and trust. I'm going to say trust, because trust is truly the number one thing. And when I got started in truck sales, one of my first managers said that, "You know what, Mike, you're going to do well because you care." Or no, he said, "You actually care." And I'm like, "What? People don't care?" And he's like, "No." And I've since learned that that's really true, that a lot of people don't care. And the hardest thing right now is it's like, for them to go, oh, there's going to be another $3,000 US surcharge, which translate $3,000 US for my Canadian followers and myself, because I'm not good with like instant math. So right now exchange, I believe, is 128. So it's like 38. You're basically $4,000. And then certain programs are, I think it was the Q2 programs are getting pushed to Q3 or 4 programs. And if they're a car, they're getting pushed to a program and all these blah, 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 blahs. And so like some trucks, the price will go up maybe $8,000 or 75 or 74 or whatever. And I don't want to have to go back to people and say, you know what, like, that truck that I quoted you and the price on it, now it's got to go higher. Like, but I have to. I mean, as a company, I think they're figuring out what we're going to do. And I feel sick to my stomach about the whole thing. And at the same time, I still have to try and make a wage because let's face it, you guys got to eat. And unfortunately, as a salesperson, the only way I eat is when a truck sells. But, so anyways, that really sucks. So that's been a tough one to deal with. And then our, my dealer representative left. He quit, which is another kick in the gut. He, you know what? He's a great guy. He was passionate, which I loved. I think in the corporate world, he probably maybe wasn't loved as much because he, he had our back. He actually felt like he cared. And you know what? Maybe that's part of why he left. He's going to another OEM. I feel like I can talk about it because it's official on his LinkedIn status now. So if you guys know who he is and you check his LinkedIn, it's now working for somebody else. And that stinks because he was hands down the best representative that I've had the pleasure of in the last, 17 years of truck sales or whatever. So that was another big kick in the pants to start the week off, because now, you know what? Well, right now we got nobody. We'll get a new person and maybe the new person will be better. I don't know. But I guess in the reality is the only constant is change, and everybody's dealing with it. So, and it doesn't matter which OEM it is, you're suffering through all these things. But, sometimes I think that corporations and the way the trucking world is getting to be this huge business that nobody really cares about anybody. And that's where you think about the trust thing. And I think about the politics, and I'm certainly not going to get, don't want to get political, but, I really think that it gets to where people forget about the people, like you forget about the people that you're affecting. Like, when you give yourself, when you say, okay, guys, here's the price of what your trucks are going to be. Yeah, it's gone up, go do your thing. And then next week, there's going to be a surcharge. Oh, there's going to be a surcharge. Oh, we're going to do this. And then, oh, okay, now we got the actual price level. So now this is the actual thing. And then it changes again. Well, now at what point do you quit trusting people? And certainly I don't want to break my customers' trust. So when I tell someone that's what it is, I want to be able to say that's what it is. But, I guess like they say, we all got to put our big boy pants on because this world is in a rocky spot right now. But yeah, it's tough. It's incredibly tough. And I don't think politicians give two craps about the people. Certainly the corporations don't, the oil companies don't. Like, kudos to Elon Musk actually, because he, if you saw the latest tweet, he said that we should be ramping up our own oil production. And how is it that a war in Europe affects Canadian US oil prices so much if it wasn't for the fact that either A, the oil companies are selling it to them or selling it to Europe so they can make more money, or we're actually using Russian oil more often. But I just think it sucks. There's a refinery in Prince George, Alberta and Saskatchewan and Northern BC, oil and gas. Like, we sit on this huge reserve and nobody supports it. Like the politicians, everybody's been against it. But you know who gets rich? The oil companies and the top people. But you know who pays? Me, you, the trucker, the people. And that's where I don't know. And I don't want to get, don't want to get preachy. But that's where you think that, you know what? They just don't care about the people. Because if people really cared about the people, they would, I don't know. I think do things a little bit differently. I mean, I know you got to have economy and a market to do stuff, but I just think you can do things in a better way. That's all. So, yeah. What do you do? Be interesting to see how things go. So yeah, I had a crappy week, really crappy week. And that's why we all got to live our best life and just stop to smell the roses. You know what? At the end of the day, you know what? Whatever your project is, if you're into gardening, if you're into models, if you're into trains, if you're into planes, if you like trucks, if you like cars, if you like gardening, you know what? It's Sunday. Go do something that you enjoy that puts a smile on your face and ignore the news. And you know what? I'm not complaining about stuff I have to deal with because at the end of the day, you know what? Everybody's got stuff to deal with. I'd far rather deal with some of this stuff than driving down a slippery, freezing rain road because that is not fun. And I know because I've done it. Actually, I think the worst thing I've been on is freezing fog. And you guys that have been in freezing fog would probably agree with me. And have you ever noticed when, or maybe not noticed, but been in those situations where you really want to stop because it's sketchy as all get up, but you can't stop? You don't want to keep going, but you can't stop. There's nowhere to stop, but you don't want to keep going, but you got to keep going because you can't stop. So it's like, you know, so you're just some of the worst feelings in the world. Well, aside from losing a loved one and, you know, whether it's your beloved pet or a family member, if it's somebody or something that means a lot to you, you know, who are we to judge? Certainly not me. I mean, I know some people are probably like, oh yeah, Mike, you're getting all worked up about losing a cat. Like, man up, grow some cojones. But he was cool. He was a Cabover cat. And it was too soon, way too soon. And sometimes I wonder if that hurts more than sometimes losing people. I don't know, you know? I don't know. Because your pets just, they love you. You know, sitting there having a dump and he comes over and start petting him and he's purring away at you and doing the little, pretty sure none of my relatives would do that. Probably a good thing too, because that'd be creepy. But, oh, guys, what do we got? Anybody have any questions? Here in Germany, the fuel price is also high. Diesel is around $1.90 a pound, a liter. And super is over $2 a pound a liter. And I believe a pound isn't a pound about almost twice as much. Like basically right now in Vancouver, prices I've hit $2 a liter. I think here in town at Costco, it's about $1.70 a liter, which I mean, is still good in comparison, certainly than Europe. Although we have a lot larger distances to travel here because we're so vast. I don't feel quite as bad for Vancouver though, because I feel bad about the truckers and the people in Vancouver that aren't part of the people that are nutty and say we shouldn't have oil and gas. And meanwhile, their oil and gas is coming from across the border and it's expensive. And then they're like, well, this is why we should have electric. And anyways, it's a whole thing, but yeah, so there we got it. Low and Slow's windshield is in. I actually got a oil pressure sensor for Stubby, and I was going to see if that made his warning lights go off. I should probably record that, but I don't know if I'll get to it today. I don't know if I feel like recording a video today. Certainly when you lose something, I want to grow the channel. I got so many things I want to do. And by growing the channel is the only thing that can really help fund doing these things and make it more possible. And then, I'm not going to lie. Like yesterday, I was just like, you know what, right now, I don't care about YouTube. I don't care about the trucks. I'm just like, you know what, we should take the kids. We should go somewhere. We should do something, enjoy our family. And it's tough because like, even YouTube, I've been working every weekend on trucks for over a year and I love it. And even with what's going on, I still work on trucks. You know what? It's like you're sad and you're having a bad day. Well, work on trucks, bust a bolt off and go, And in reflection, some of you really good mechanics, and there's a lot of you guys out there I know could take care of this a lot easier. And for me, you know, I know how to do some stuff, but it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. So, and sometimes I think, what am I doing? You know what? What am I doing? Trying to work on old trucks, and everything is old and broken and difficult. But we do it because we love it. And I want to get Low and Slow ready so he's drivable. This thermostat thing, I've known about it for a while. No excuse. I should have had it done a long time ago. And I'm a little disappointed because we want to get him out so we can get K2 in. And yesterday when I was feeling really down, I was like, should I just sell some trucks? Should I just concentrate on one and try and make one? And like K2 needs a lot of work. I think it would be easier to do one where you start from scratch and go through, maybe not. And I also think that this is why I want to have trucks that I can drive. I mean, I know some people say I got too many trucks, but I like to drive them. I just love to drive them. That being said, I love to drive Low and Slow better than I like to drive Kenny. Kenny's comfortable to drive. His heater works fantastic. I gotta say, I drove Kenny yesterday, started up great for an old Big Cam 4. You know what? I was just so proud because I put that engine back together with that broken roller, and you know what? It's cleared up and drove nice. But it's Kenny. I got to stretch Kenny out. I know my brother came to visit me at work on Friday morning. Or was it Saturday? No, it was Friday morning. I started work early. So get this, guys. You might ask, how can I have 5 trucks? How does my wife let me do this? Well, here's a little secret. And I'm not saying you all have to do this, but this is just one of the things that I think helps me. So Andrea, if you watch the Duke Kaboom video, Andrea loves her Harvey's purses. Now, Harvey's purses are made in Anaheim. They're 100% American made, and they're made out of seatbelt material. Originally, how they started, Dana, the feller that his wife, anyways, he was building a hot rod because he's a car guy. He's like us. He was building a hot rod. And he put new seatbelts in it, and he had all the seatbelt material left. And his wife said that would make a neat bag if we wove it. So they wove it into a purse or a bag. And I guess she had so many compliments on this and asked where they could get them that she started making handbags out of seatbelt material. So anyways, that's evolved. They're 25 years old now. They've got Prince, Disney, whatever, and Andrea loves them. And I'm not going to lie, they've got men's wallets, and I kind of like them too because it's seatbelt, it's car stuff. So anyways, Andrea loves her Harvey's purses. And Harvey's has been so successful at having releases for their merchandise on like Fridays and stuff to where it's limited production. They're made in the USA, and when they're gone, they're gone. They're not like mass produced or whatever. So to the point where it's like you get online and you go order, and if you're too slow hitting the button, they're literally sold out in seconds. It's been a little bit better lately, but like 6 months ago, maybe even a year ago, like literally you're sitting there going, add to cart, pay, and you'd miss out. Like, sell that fast. So anyways, they had a Disney release on Friday. It's got Mickey and Minnie holding hands or whatever, and Andrea loves Mickey and Minnie. And so I helped her get it. You know what? I logged on to Harvey's before 8 a.m. So I was ready at 8 o'clock. As soon as it went live, I hit the button, and I got her the one handbag that's got Mickey and Minnie, and she got the other one she wanted. And my brother was there and stuff. I'm like, hey, just wait. I got to do something first. And I got Andrea her purse. So that's what it takes sometimes for her to let me have 5 trucks. I'm not saying that is all that it takes, but it certainly doesn't hurt. You know what? It doesn't hurt. And you know what? It's kind of fun. It's kind of addicting, actually. And not that I'm addicted to buying purses, but it's like the thrill of it's kind of like an auction where it's limited release and you're like, I want it because everybody else wants it. Why do you want it? Because I don't know why, because it's hard to get. That's why I want it. So that's what helps me. Me help my wife get her purses. And you know what? As long as we don't go end up in the poorhouse for purses and trucks, it's all good, because who are we to say what people like for their hobbies? So she's got a lot of purses. They're collectible. I'm sure they're worth some money. Makes her happy. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Whatever makes you happy, whatever your thing is, I don't care. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody, or, you end up broke. So yeah, that's what I did Friday, which helps me get more trucks. And funny enough thing, I should be reading your comments, but I let Mark from Twin Sticks know about your dilemma with the C13. He seems interested in assisting you. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'd really love to do something with Twin Sticks. You know what? He seems like such a great guy. Chatted with him a little bit. Well, actually, I didn't really chat with him, but email. And yeah, just it, and there's a guy just building his hobby trucks. And at the end of the day, started a YouTube channel to show what he's doing with his trucks. And whether you agree with, how he or I do stuff, it's just real. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about the internet and YouTube, is it's real. Like, you guys can tune in right now. There's 210 of you online, and it's real. It's just Mike, the truck guy. And you know what? If you want to tell me I'm a doorknob for having 5 trucks and not getting one show truck ready, you can do that. Or if you want to say, hey, we love having different trucks on the channel because you get to see different stuff. Like, you guys probably, and I don't know, maybe someone has mentioned it, DeBoss Garage. Have you guys, has anyone seen that, where he's, what's his channel? HDDB or something like that? Because he's got a car channel. He's got a few 100,000 subscribers there. And then he's got a heavy duty channel. Well, he's doing a K100. And I know exactly how you guys feel. Now, his is a flat top K100. And ironically, the black flat top that he's doing, I saw it on Kijiji in Ontario, and I'm like, ooh, those look good. And there was 2 of them, which his neighbor bought the other one. And he started doing it, but he's only done, I think, 3 or 4 episodes on it. And I'm kind of hungry to see how he's making out with his cab. And he's done some things that I don't necessarily agree with. I think he might have painted the frame a little too quick, when I think there's some rust jacking on a torque arm gusset. But hey, there's things that I've done that don't agree with. But I'm excited to see what he does, because it's cool. And one of the things that he did is he actually took the cab off, the frame. He got a complete different frame, and he's putting the cab hinges onto a completely different frame that didn't have a Cabover front end. So that takes some cojones, because I don't know that I have the cojones to do. I would have to hire it done. I mean, I'm not a metal fabricator. So yeah, that's another cool channel. If you're checking out channels, he's only got a few videos on the Cabover, but it's really cool. If you go find DeBoss Garage, HDDB, I think it is, check for his Cabover. He's also got a square body Chevy on a tank chassis, which is kind of cool, but yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it like that. Oh, baby. What else? Somebody said something about James Pretty. Yeah, I like, James Pretty. He's a pretty cool guy. His channel has come a long ways. He's putting a V12 in one of his Cabovers, which is pretty gutsy. I don't know that I'd have those guts. And he's an airplane piloter guy. I don't know if he actually flies a plane or if he's like the co-pilot or what, but yeah, I follow him on Instagram, and it's kind of neat to see what people do in their day job, because if you check his channel, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just a guy in the States that likes Cabover trucks, and he's got a couple Freightliners, a couple flat top Kenworths, and then you follow him on Instagram, and he's flying to like Asia and stuff like that for 13 hours, and it's like, my gosh, like, it's cool. I mean, not gonna lie. I mean, you wouldn't think someone that flies planes and big jets and hauls cargo or whatever it is would be into Cabovers, but he is. So go check out his channel, James Pretty. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Another Cabover guy. I'm having a brain fart. Chad Keegan. He's got Frankenstein. It's a green K100E, and seems like a really nice guy. and makes YouTube videos. He actually works his truck, which I think is really cool. Whereas myself, James, and even Twin Sticks, and even DeBoss Garage, we don't actually work our trucks. So I think it's really cool, the guys that have the old trucks that actually work them every day. Because you know what? It's not easy to work an old truck because, I have the benefit that when my truck breaks down or something happens, it can stay, whereas when you're working it every day, you can't afford to have it sit. Even like Duke Kaboom, I desperately want to get him home. But it's also, if he stays there for a month, it's no skin off my nose really, other than I don't want anyone to, do anything to him. And he's in a lot compound, so should be safe. But at the same token, he's my 378. I want to get him home. I want to get him cleaned up. I want to find out what's wrong with the engine. And in order for me to do that the most economically, I need to get low and slow on the road. But yeah, so that's where I can park my trucks. Doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about working them. Guys that work them every day, like Jack Keegan, you know what? Kudos to him, man. Working an old truck. It ain't easy being green. Actually, I think his truck is kind of neat being Frankenstein-y too. I actually thought that maybe, anyways, it doesn't matter, but it's cool. It's, you know what? Everybody's different. Oh, there's a guy, and I'm getting sidetracked a bit. There's a guy building an international glider. What the heck's his name now? Something Christine. He's back in Ontario. He's got a rebuilt old International. It's cream and brown. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but it's on YouTube. I don't know that he has a YouTube channel, but his truck has been showcased on a trucking channel. So if you've seen it, it's an old, gosh, I need to remember his name now. But anyways, the place where I got Kenny and Stubby, Len, he had a brand new, get this blows me away. And I didn't know it was there. Otherwise, I probably would have an International right now. But he has had a brand new 1989 International glider, untouched. Like, just there. Plastic on the seats. The frame paint was new. Like, it was a brand new glider. Len had bought it in 1989 to replace one where, I don't know if it was an accident or fire or something, and he was going to bring it. Actually, I think he did bring it to our Peterbilt body shop because he's always been a Peterbilt customer, to do the swap, and then just didn't get around to it, or didn't have the money at the time, and he ended up taking the truck back home because he didn't get it done, and plans changed, and I didn't even realize it was there. And anyways, Doug put it on the internet and sold it. And this feller, Christine is his last name, and you know what? It's gonna kill me that I can't remember what his name is. So, but if you, maybe I wonder if I could find it quickly. But if you guys see it, you'll know it. His last name's Christine. And anyways, he came over from Ontario and bought this glider, and he's building it into a new show truck, which, you know what? He's got more money than me. Well, I'm assuming he's got more money than me, certainly more patience. Well, not that I care if he's got more money, but he's building it to be like his other truck, which, according to the internet, looks gorgeous. Whether you're a Cabover guy or not, or if you're it just, or an International guy or not, I should say, it just looks fantastic. And that's what I truly love about the internet. So I'm just going to search Christine. No results. Of course. Of course there's no results because I can't spell. Search another one. Glider. Let's see. Is there a glider? No. What about International? Guys are probably thinking, yeah, hurry up, Mike. I just wanted to find that guy's name for you so that, actually, you know what? I'd probably be better off to Google my YouTube because I just want you guys to see it. So anyways, it's going to look fantastic. It's really cool. And you know, it's kind of like a holy grail find to find a glider untouched for, well, what'd that be? Like 25, 30 years, I guess. Yeah, it would be like 30 years or, well, maybe not exactly 30, maybe it's more than 30 years. 89, 99, 2009, 89, 99, 2009, 2019. Yeah, so it's like 33 years. So sorry about me talking with my fingers, but I might not be a smart man, but I know how to count with 5 fingers. Oh gosh, yeah, Mark. Sorry guys, I was just looking at the comments. Mark just talked about when James almost killed himself when a cab came flying down. You know, that was scary as all get up. You know what? Go check out James Pretty's channel. He's got a little short clip of when his cab just went, and it's scary how quickly things happen and the cab comes down. Like yesterday, I was putting the cab down because I don't like to leave the cab up overnight on low and slow, and I was just thinking about that. Like you keep clear, and because if you blow a hose or have a cylinder failure, could kill a guy. Yeah. So be careful. Be careful. Bruce, check out Bruce Wilson. He works at Cabover called Blue Collar. Yes, I actually have been watching Bruce Wilson again. I heard about him last year. He was off YouTube. Not really sure for what, something legal mumbo jumbo, but yeah, he's got that Freightliner Cabover with the 60 series, and apparently he's buying a new Peterbilt. So I'll be curious to know when he buys a new Peterbilt if his channel gets as much. Well, he's got like 500,000 subscribers, but I know some people had told me don't do stuff like he did because I think in the past anyways, I don't know. Everybody has an opinion as to what we should do, and at the end of the day, it's entertaining nonetheless. But I still want to do a truck start like from the ground up, which is kind of what I had planned with K2, but we'll see. Like I say, everything is fluid. And it's been a crappy week, so not that has anything to do with it, but gotta love Vice Grip. Yes, Vice Grip Garage. I would love to do more Vice Grip Garage stuff on the channel. You know, Will It Starts, Drive It Home. Although the last Drive It Home didn't work out so well. And you can buy cars a heck of a lot cheaper than you can buy trucks. But does a person have to buy them all? Of course you do. One of my customers, he actually found a 379. Get this, a 1998 379. It's red, 63-inch high roof, 1.7 million on the chassis. I believe it's got 300,000 on a rebuild, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys a picture. I'm going to cheat. And anyways, he's thinking about buying it. He can get it for what I think is a great price. You know, I think it's a good price, unless it's rotted out. Because, you know, 379s don't just pop up out of the woodwork. Certainly ones that have engine history. Now, it hasn't been driven in like a year or so, which isn't stellar, but not the end of the world. Well, you know what? It's probably in my downloads. And I hate to admit it, but in a way I was like, oh, I would love to buy it. But I don't know if I should. I can't really read the name there, but and some of you guys might even know the truck, but check this out. Check this out. That. Will it focus on that? Come on. Focus. Focus. Do I need to move my fingers? Do I need to do that? Anyways, that's it. Yeah, 1998 379. It's got a little bit of rust jacking on the back. I don't know how bad, but if he was to get it, or even if he doesn't get it, I would love to go down, maybe do a Will It Start video. Just let me do a video on it. Let me crawl on it and touch it and feel it. And I don't think Andrew would let me buy it, although you never know. Depends how good it was. Or, you know, if I did buy it, it would probably be something where she'd say, you got to get rid of one. Or maybe it's just so good you do get rid of one. Or maybe, you try and hook dad up with it. But that's, you know what? That might be hitting the addiction level, but 379s are not built every day. You do not come across them easily. So, Matthew Motorsports Garage is doing a 359 frame off restoration. You should check. I have not heard about Matthew's Motorsports, so I will definitely have to check out his channel because I love 359s, especially with the Corvette dash. Well, I guess, yeah, 359 has a Corvette dash, doesn't it? Do they all have the dash? I should know that. Russell, there were 2 train accidents, blah, blah, blah. Before a trip to Kaboom, he and his missus put in before the trip to Kaboom. Sorry, guys, just reading the thing that found a W900 A model glider barn find that's like, that is super cool. And, they're out there. You guys probably know where stuff is or have come across it. And a guy's just got to keep his eyes open. And, that's what I do. And that's how I end up with these things, is just keeping your eyes open. Dad had a thing that he said is, really a person's only out of work if you want to be. And if you go looking for stuff, you probably find it. And maybe that's like this whole law of attraction thing where if you think about something long enough, or you're focusing on a goal, call it, subconsciously you find a way to get there. Or if you're thinking about buying a whatever, eventually you find it. And I'm always looking. Not that I'm always looking to buy, but it's fun to surf Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace. And the interesting thing is a lot of the stuff we find is through word of mouth. So go check out Gentry and Son, does a lot of Cabover stuff. Yes, I really enjoy Gentry and Son. You know what I love about Gentry and Son too? He's just a regular guy like you or I, making a living. He lets his kid, like I think one of the last ones, his son got their cat loader thingamajigger stuck while they're building a road. And I just think that's awesome because you know what? His son's into what he's doing. His son films for him, and you know what? To let him get the track hose stuck, or I guess it's not the track hose. He was running the track hose, but that's how we learn. That's how kids grew up on a farm and stuff like that. And yeah, I enjoy it. And then he's got a C16 in that Pete, and his C16, the cam has gone bad in it. That was the last episode, which is kind of a stinker. I would love to get a C16, and so I got to see about C16. Well, I guess the C16 would be like a holy grail engine for Duke Kaboom, but you never know. Maybe the C13 isn't completely toast and I can just fix it and run it for a bit. So, and certainly with the price of fuel, the C13 probably makes a lot of sense due to price wise. But yeah, that's a sweet truck and they sound so good. Oh, actually, you know what? This feller right here, low and slow, sounds good. And he's not a big engine. C10 is just a little baby engine, but he can't even pull a trailer. He's got not a trailer with air brakes. So, but yeah, I'm not going to do anything engine wise until I get it home and check it out. And the thing that I like about Duke Kaboom is, and I know I'm a little bit off topic from talking about how these things come to play, is the fact that it's an 06 with low mileage, even though it's got huge high hours. I bet you it's probably at least 30,000, maybe more. Parts are easier to get and the cab's in good shape. So, one of the problems up here in the north is because we have so much salt and sand and rocks on a road, it's really hard to get like an undercarriage that's in good shape. I look at some trucks down in the States, in the southern states where it's dry, and I'm so jealous by the condition. Certainly you have your issues down there as well, but up here, the rust is just brutal. So to get something like that where the frame is in nice shape and, and God bless And I'm not a religious man, but I guess I just said God bless. So God bless him. Glenn, for reaching out to me and letting me buy it off of him, and it's very much appreciated. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I should have heeded his advice and got a trailer. And that's where if I had my own trailer, or if Low and Slow was on the road to where I could just go get them and winch them on. And that's another thing. I bought a winch from Princess Auto because they were on sale. Well, actually, if you're in Canada, they're on sale this week. 12,000 pound winch for $398. Like, it's cheap. Is it a good winch? Maybe not. But how could you go wrong for $400 to get a 12,000 pound winch? So my plan, this is my plan. Just wait there. I'm just going to run and grab this. I'm running. Okay. So this is my plan. I got a receiver mount for the winch, and I'm going to weld this to the crossbar on the bottom of Low and Slow. So I'm going to weld that on. And then I've got the winch in cradle. It's sitting on the floor over here. I don't know if, oh yeah, you can see it right there. Oh, wait. Oh, this is fun. Right there. So that if I get something that needs to be winched on, I can just stick it in, hook up the batteries, and winch away. Because that'll be really handy. The only downside with Low and Slow is where the crest of the ramp is. I'm a little concerned about like hanging up with fuel tanks, so I figured I'd take some blocks and give it a whirl. So maybe it's a case where in the future we make the ramps lower or make that lower. But anyways, I'm excited for it. That's one of the things I'm trying to get together for next weekend that Andrea is all pumped about going is to, and you know, that's a great thing is Andrea wants to go. So you know what? Maybe the first week of spring break vacation will be winching them on if I can get this dang broken bolt out. And what scares me with this broken bolt is this is steel. The bolt is steel. It actually says cat on it too. I wonder if you need to have a cat bolt to go in. Probably not. I don't even know if it's grade 8. I'm going to assume it's grade 8, or maybe it's not. 10.9, so it's metric. But check it out. It probably won't focus because anytime you want it to focus, it doesn't. Whatever. Yeah, it's cool. It says cat on it. But yeah, I got to get that out and put this on. And then I thought, worst case scenario, if I had to drill out the whole housing, there's space behind it that I could put a nut on the back end, but that's kind of hillbilly fix. But it was going into aluminum, and that's the part that scares me because, you know, you drill it out, and I'm hoping when I drill it that I could use an easy out, that it'll come out easy. But if I have to tap it, what I'm scared about is like, if you're trying to tap steel out of an aluminum housing, I fear I'm just going to F it all up. In which case, then I guess the next thing would be Healy coil. And I've never done that before. And it scares the dickens out of me. And I could take it and hire someone to do it, except for the fact that it's sitting here and I'd have to get it to their shop. So anyways, good afternoon, Mike. I found out that I'm going blind. I can barely see my phone. How's the Cabovers? You know what, guys? Curtis, thanks for the message. That is a stinker. And you know what? It just goes to show that every day is a blessing. Actually, that was just about a phrase from a Disney movie. It was like a wise turtle. Was it a wise turtle in Kung Fu Panda? Or no, it wasn't about every day is a blessing. Or no, it was something about, no, yesterday was before, anyways, and today's a blessing. I'm sorry to hear that about your eyesight. That's a stinker. And I don't want to underplay it because certainly, but yes, Cabovers are good. Cabovers are great. Interesting fun fact. My dad is diabetic. My brother is diabetic. So far, I'm not diabetic, although I'm a little overweight. I know you guys are shocked, but it's true. I know the black is slimming, but it's true. I'm a little heavy. I'm a little heavy. So My dad's diabetic, is on insulin now. My brother's diabetic. I think he's maybe on insulin now. I should know. I'm a guy. You guys don't usually follow stuff like that. My grandfather, whom I have never met, was diabetic. He actually went blind. And, you know, Dad, I believe what Dad said is he never took care of himself. Well, and I mean, that was like the 50s and 60s. So we didn't know the stuff. We didn't have the technology. We didn't have the stuff. So he went blind. And Dad would actually take him driving, and I guess he would tell him when to turn. So he'd be driving, and then Dad was a little kid in the passenger seat and say, "Okay, turn now," and he'd be like, and but anyways, he did woodworking when he was blind. He was a musician, which I think is really cool. Maybe where Piper gets her talent, but yeah, even though he was blind, he did all sorts of great things, and yeah, we're here for you, Curtis, and anything we can do to make your life better. You know what? Maybe that's why we do podcasts. You know what? If you can't see the video of that, great. Well, then you can listen to it, and we'll make lots of Jake noises. So, what else you guys got to say? No, some came with flat dash. The 85 I have is a Corvette dash. Cool. Or is it the Corvette has a 359 dash? I like that. Does your country have any new cabovers like Scanias? No, our country doesn't have any cabovers. Well, the only cabovers we have are like for garbage trucks, which are like a set forward. That would be a 520, and they max out at what do they max out, like 400 horsepower or something like that. and the little ones, which actually come from Europe, like the Peterbilt 220 and stuff. So that's another stinker. It'd be nice if we Freightliner actually, I think, was the last one to make real cabovers, and you had to get them as a glider. So maybe it's something to do with cooling, or I don't know. Or you know what, like everything else, it's like, well, the market's lower, so we're just gonna, you know, and that gets into that whole corporate thing about just because of numbers. So we'll deal with it, right? There's worse things in the world than not being able to get exactly what I want. I want it. Sorry. I'm looking for a 379 to buy and came across one with a 70-inch bed and breakfast sleeper. How rare those, and what do you know about them? I think the breakfast sleepers are definitely rare, like with the table and stuff. I haven't seen one in forever. So, and if it's got the door on the passenger side, that's pretty rare too. But the one thing on like the 379s and that you really have to watch is the corrosion along the bottom of the sleeper, where the skin comes down and hucks on. Like quite often, they corrode out there. It's like a thing from the two metals, so they get kind of, and it can be a little bit expensive, because really the only way to fix it is to put new panels on. But so if you got one that doesn't have that corrosion, primo. And the problem with the 359s is they had steel roofs, and the problem with the steel roof is, there again, it rusts, and then you have issues with that. Oh, and the other thing you got to watch about is your windshield frames, because even on 379s, there's actually one at the Ritchie Brothers auction that sold just recently, and you can see the windshield frame is rusted out. So that's something that a feller's got to watch out. You know, it's not something that you can't not fix. It's just, if you find a really good one that isn't rusted there in those spots, you're going to have way less work. And if you can find a truck that doesn't need a ton of body work, that's huge, because body work is, I believe, probably the hardest and most expensive. Like honestly, engine work, mechanic work, brakes, airlines, that stuff is easy, you know, but body work, it ain't easy. I'm just saying, it takes a special guy, and it's time consuming and costs money. Like to get that guy painted, it'd probably cost 15, it would probably be the cheapest, 15 to 60 grand. That's kind of funny. But anyways, try welding a nut on again, get it hot. I might try that again, Mark. I watched a video on that, and you know, I heated that thing up a lot and it still didn't work. But I wish I could get someone like yourselves that knows how to do this stuff to get that stud out. Because not looking forward to it, because it seems like every step I take, it just gets a little bit worse. Liquid nitrogen. Ooh, I don't think I have any liquid nitrogen, but maybe, I don't know. That'd be interesting. I have a video on low and slow windshield install. I I didn't get it edited because of the whole death in the family thing with our cat. And so that one was going to try and do it this week. But yeah, I apologize. I do have video on it. Took a long time, not gonna lie. It was not easy, but it's in there. You can see it. It's in there. It is not a lie. Anyways, hello, Mike, via U Trucks Drive Thriller from Denmark. I don't know what that means, but thanks, Thomas. Some came with flat dash. We talked about that. We talked about that. Check out FSC Trucking. He works on 84. Oh yeah, I've heard about him. I have heard about that. What else do we got here? Do you have video of low and slow winch? Oh, right. I just talked about that. Looking for a 379. Yesterday in history, tomorrow. That's what it is. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is a blessing. I need to remember that. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is a blessing. It's wise words from Kung Fu Panda. Mike, hello from Wisconsin, I think it is. Thank you for all the wonderful videos. Interested in your new truck that aired last video. When will we see more of the new truck? We will see more of the new truck as soon as I can go get it. So if I can get low and slow, and that's what the push for me the last 2 weeks to get low and slow ready is to go get Duke Kaboom, because I was just going to winch him onto the deck, bring him home myself. And we'd make a video of going to get him, bringing him home. And plus, then I'm doing it myself. So really all I've got into it is a fuel and I get to use my own truck. So rather than just hiring it done. And you know what? Maybe that would be the easy thing to do is just call up somebody and say, yeah, I got a truck sitting in Dawson. Can you bring it back on a backhaul? Yep, you bet. 10-4, good buddy. But it's more fun to do that. And change the battery pack. My phone is dying. Great. Just great. Let's see if we can switch. Oh, and the video ended. Just hold. Let me try and get the video back. Anywhere. Let's try this again. There we go. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Let's try unplug and plugging it back in. Because that's generally, oh, hey, there we are. Battery went dead. Sorry about that, guys. You know what? We just learned something. We learned that if your battery goes dead in your camera, you can change it and you guys are still there. So it's good. At least it looks like you're still there. So my gosh, you know, when I look at this video, my shop is a mess. Maybe this afternoon, maybe a feller should clean this up, you know, take that box and put that winch on low and slow. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm excited for Duke Kaboom. I want to get him cleaned up. It's not going to stop me working on the Cabovers though, because once I get this out of the shop, I still want to get K2 in. I'm going to pull the fifth wheel pedestal off K2 and check for rust jacking, see how bad his frame is, see what we got to do there. I'm going to try the, maybe I should do that this afternoon, is put the new oil pressure sending unit in stubby, because if we do take the motorhome somewhere, I got to make him run because he's parked in front of the motorhome. And if Andrew wants to go somewhere, we're going somewhere. And are you going to repaint? Sorry, message here from Wayne. Question. We can see you, boo. Are you going to repaint any of those white trucks after Kenny is stretched? Are you going to BJ and the Bear paint theme? I want to do the BJ and the Bear paint theme. The only kicker is the stainless panels, and that's where I had thought about doing K2 BJ and the Bear. Yes, absolutely. I want to paint these suckers from the white because it's boring. I would actually like to try doing some wrap too, because in the meantime, until a guy paints, so I've had a quote to do paint for about $15,000 to start. I don't know if the problem is the fellow that quoted that I would have to take a cab off and put it on a trailer like DeBoss Garage to keep the height down, because his booth is only like 9 feet tall. But the more I think about it, if the booth is that short, are you going to be able to get the roof all right? So, and one of a former coworker works in in another truck body shop, and he was going to give me a quote from their body shop. So ideally, if I can leave a cab on a truck and paint it, that's what I'd like to do. So, but yes, I am not a fan of just all white trucks. So, and I've got an idea for Duke Kaboom to change them up to make it look without having to repaint the whole thing. Because if I'm going to paint a truck, I'm painting a Cabover. Yeah, I'm not painting the 378. I want the 378 running and driving. I want to get a step deck so when I go get a Cabover, I can get it myself. There's actually, I shouldn't even tell you guys because you might go scoop it. Well, no, it's probably okay. I'm going to tell you guys anyways. Customer sent me pictures of another 362 Cabover that's in Alberta, and it's got I don't know, it's got some box on the back, but it's a 97. Looks very much like Low and Slow, although it's got this really goofy bumper on it. It's got a little Cummins in it, and I think a 10-speed or something. I'd have to look at the Kijiji ad again, but it's got this. If you go on Kijiji Canada or whatever, I guess you'll see it on there. It's got this real box on the back that looks like it would be cool. It's got a 20,000 kilowatt generator in it, and I showed it to Andrea this morning. I said, "Wouldn't this make a neat little camper?" And she's like, "Yeah, but you know what?" She says, "Well, we got to go to Alberta anyways because, we're doing a post-mortem on our cat, and the place in British Columbia was flooded out, so we're probably going to send him to Alberta. And if the vet doesn't send him there, we'll take him ourselves. I will do that, and it sounds like they can cremate him. And if that's the case, when we go pick up his ashes, then that's what we're going to do." But Andrew said if we're go to Alberta anyways, we could go look at this truck. So that is a good woman. I'm just saying, I got 5 trucks, and she said we could go look at, because I think it's listed for $14,000. So I actually paid more for Low and Slow. Although I like the fact that Low and Slow has a cat because it sounds so good. And Low and Slow has fewer kilometers. This one online, I think it's got 800,000 or 900,000, whereas Low and Slow's only got 7. But the interior on the one online is way better than Low and Slow's. So yeah, check it out. It's on Kijiji. Looks cool. Kenworth Bullnose would be cool. But right now, I think a bullnose would just be too much work, unless you got one that was already partially done. So yeah, you're 3 months into working at a Pete dealership in Wisconsin, Gasmaster. Well, congratulations. Peterbilt is absolutely fantastic. Love the brand, love the company. It's just been extremely challenging these days. I don't know what you do there if you're a mechanic or a sales guy or whatever, but hopefully you're a mechanic or a parts guy, because that's a lot easier than being in sales right now. So would Duke fit on Low and Slow and clear bridges if you have any bridges? So I measured Duke. I think he was 133 inches tall. So the way I had it figured, if I was to put him on Low and Slow, is I think he would be 15 feet, or like maybe an inch over 15 feet, where I could just let some air out. And that's to the top of the stack. So if I took the stacks off, it'd be a little bit lower. So technically, as long as I can keep the height to 15 feet, I can buy like a $20 permit and drive him home at 15 feet tall. So how cool is that? Mechanic, right on. You know what? Mechanics are like the hardest thing to get. So that's awesome. And what a great opportunity for young guys too. Just give that shop to the wife and build a bigger one. LOL. Lifts, pit, paint, booth, the works. We only live once. Just have to sell a few more Pete's. Right on. I like the way you think. And yes, Mark, PACCAR has the best resale value. That is true. 100% has the best resale value. And depending on where you're at, sometimes it's Kenworth, sometimes it's Peterbilt. Traditionally, in our neck of the woods, Kenworths have been a little bit more, but it's actually the last auction, the Pete's did better than the Kenworths. There was a brand new Kenworth that sold at Ritchie Brothers in Edmonton. It was a 2023 had like 600 clicks on it. So it's like brand new. Like it wasn't even the drive truck. It was so new. And from what I understand, somebody basically bought it and then just stuck it in Ritchie Brothers, figuring that they'd make a windfall, which I think it sold for 253,000 Canadian. But in all honesty, that's probably what you would pay for a new W900 highway truck in Canada right now if you could get one. So I actually was a little disappointed. I thought it should have been higher. It was white. So shocker. But yeah, I thought that was a little light in the loafers, so to speak. So that truck should have fetched more money, in my opinion. And by the time you take Ritchie Brothers 12% or whatever they charge off of it, I don't think the guy made any money at all. So, but I was shocked. But 2019 Peterbilt Tri-Drive with 70,000 clicks on it and a wet kit, fancy oil patch wet kit, maybe 20 grand at the most. So 2019 sleeper Tri-Drive, that probably would have been 210 brand new. So maybe you're 230 all in. Call it say 250 with warranty. Say you spent 250 with warranties, wet kit, in 2019 for this truck. What do you think it sold for? 75,000 clicks. Well, I'm going to tell you, $295,000, almost $300,000 for a 3-year-old truck. Because right now we're selling, now we're selling 23s. Well, actually, I guess technically 20. Well, call it 3 years, 19 to 22, because 2022 models are going out now. So 3 years old for $300,000 for a Pete. It's crazy. But you know what? It comes down to that thing right now. If you guys need a truck and it's a case of working or not working, you're probably going to pay it because if you need it, you need it, right? Within reason. But that was impressive. I'm not going to lie. Pete's did really well. So really well. And you know what? If all this craziness in the world continues, I don't know. I was hopeful that by third quarter the supply chain issues would get better, but with now all this war crap, I don't know. I don't have any faith. I've lost my faith, which is not good. Hope for the best, or how they say, plan for the worst, hope for the best, or plan for the worst, hope for the best. So I'm going to hope for the best. And but yeah, at the end of the day, if you got a truck. You got a truck on order, or if they say you've got one, then you're in a good spot. So, bring back the Cabovers. They're real trucks for real men. I don't know about that, but they are pretty real trucks. So, do you think these outrageous prices will ever go back down? Will production pick back up? Absolutely. Although Scott has a good point, prices never go down. Very true. Ian says, very true, they never do. Would you ever do a joint episode with Twin Stick Garage? Absolutely, I would. All day long, I would with Twin Stick. If he wanted to come here, or I'll go there. And absolutely. And I have no doubts that we could meet at a truck show this summer. God bless as things go well, and I can get a truck together that runs to go away from home. But I don't know about, it's kind of a loaded question. Will truck prices ever go down? What's inflation going to do? I think things are going to go down because I just have a feeling that things are going to crash and with this rapid inflation, because let's face it, none of us can sustain it. Like, I don't see how any of us can. I can't, you can't. So it's going to get to the point where it's like, something's got to go. But yeah, over history, well, I was just about to say over history, prices never come down, but that's not entirely true. Depending on exchange rate and stuff, prices in Canada anyways can come down, because like back in 2005, our exchange rate was in the tank. And it went from where a truck bought early in 05 to late in 05, there was a difference of about $20,000. So now that's something that, with trucks built in the US and that Canadians have to deal with is exchange. So yes, prices can come down. And I'm hoping that they do, or at least stabilize. Are they going to come down to pre-COVID, pre-this year levels? I don't think so, because at the end of the day, the OEMs always have an increase every year. But it's one of those things, you have a 2% increase every year, but then when you're not selling, then all of a sudden you get a bigger discount. So I don't know. It all depends on the world. We just need to get this COVID crap done. Let everybody get back to some sort of normalcy so that everybody, whether you're in Asia, India, South Africa, Europe, North America, South America, the North Pole, if you make widgets to seat covers, to steel cross members, we just need everybody to be on the same page so that we can get to something that's normal. The sad thing is, personally, I think that there's people that have gotten rich during COVID, and I think some people are using the supply issues to manipulate it to make extra profit or lots of profit. I don't know. I mean, it's just a theory, but I just want to be able to sell trucks. That's all I want to do. Sell trucks, build trucks, have a good life. And really, that's all any of us want, is to have a good show. But anyways, guys, I should go. I've been yammering on for an hour and 20 minutes. Who could believe I could talk for an hour and 20 minutes? Probably my wife or my family, Sorry I started this vlog with a bit of a downer, but you know what? You guys have picked me up. You know what? And I thank you for that. Yes, that's right. Kenny Lovett says the balloon can only inflate so much until it pops. Steam engine trucks, those are cool. Yep. In his country. It's the same here. You have to wait for 14 months for a new Volvo Scania here in Sweden. Yeah. And it's like, how are we ever going to catch up to this? So that's going to be a challenge, because then it's like all the manufacturers are trying to, yep. Price gouging. Boy, it sure feels like that. Diesel prices are at the pump are $6.57 US a gallon. Yeah, crazy. Mom and Dad just said it's five something a gallon in Yuma, Arizona, for diesel. But anyways, thanks for chiming in, JC. 16 a gallon in the UK. Yeah, that's a stinker. But you know what? I don't know. I guess our rates just have to go up to cover it, and hopefully wages do too, because that's what we need. Get another Cabover hat. Yes, Mark, we are getting another cat. I am getting my family another cat, because at the end of the day, we love our Cabover. We loved our Cabover cat, and we will have another one. And it's really sad. It sucks when your family is hurting. And I don't know, this loss of this silly little cat called Mr. Gibbs has been harder on my family than anything that we've had to deal with yet. And it sounds cheesy, and I don't want to make light of people that are suffering or that have lost a loved one, but it feels it's been a bad one. I'm telling you, that little guy touched everybody big time. But anyways, guys, thanks for letting me out of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for another great episode. I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If I talked too much, if I didn't talk too much, maybe I exposed too much about my life and how last week kind of sucked a lot. It was a rough week last night, not gonna lie. Professionally, privately, last week was a stinker. So let's make this week better, because at the end of the day, we got our health. Well, except for my cat, but yeah, kids are good, wife are good, and we got to remind ourselves to enjoy life. Not take it for granted, and enjoy the moments. And I know it's cliche. Everybody talks about that, but yeah. Try not to focus on the negative and just enjoy every day for what it is, another day. So anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go clean up the shop, work on something, and I'll try and record it this time so you guys got something fun to watch. And thank you all for tuning in. Much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And also, if you'd like to check out some Peterbilt Mike merch, that would also be great, because I got lots of t-shirts and hoodies left for you guys. Shop.peterbiltmike.com. Take care. Life is good, and God bless. And thoughts and prayers go out to the people in the Ukraine, where could you imagine having somebody shooting bombs at your house just because you're different? That's not cool. Anyways, guys, love you like a I don't know what I was gonna say. Love you like a Love you love you like in a. Anyways, appreciate you all for watching. Take care. Have a good one. Peace out. Mike out. Mike out. Put your foot in your mouth, Mike, and leave.